The media is not full of journalists. The Democrat legacy media, corporate media, is full of people who are activists. They are trying to bring about an outcome in American politics. They create what we generally refer to as the narrative, and they have a lot of platforms and a lot of areas to exert their influence. We could call that the apparatus, and this is all meant to control you and to evade accountability and truth wherever necessary, because that's the way they can get power. Welcome to Hold the Line, friends. So, here we have just one of the many stories. Russian bounties, okay? Just take a gander back at this one. New York Times headline in June of 2020, Russia secretly offered Afghan militant bounties to kill U.S. troops, according to intelligence. And there was a huge surge in reporting. Remember, June 2020, an election year, Trump, COVID, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety about what's going on. Here is the media at the time talking about the Russia bounty story.
In our World Lead today, President Trump dismissing the Russian bounty intelligence story as a hoax meant to damage him and Republicans. The president often touts his relationship with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin.
The White House also responding tonight to a bombshell report accusing Russia of offering bounties to the Taliban to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan.
And now you know from this reporting in the New York Times, which has since been confirmed by the Wall Street Journal, that not only does the president know that Russia was paying for American soldiers' deaths.
News. Get this. The Washington Post is now reporting that the alleged Russian bounties to Taliban fighters in Afghanistan are believed to have resulted in the deaths of U.S. troops.
Yeah, that sounds really bad, right? Oh my gosh, Russia is paying the Taliban bounties to kill American troops. First of all, the Taliban would be happy to kill American troops. They weren't doing it for a period of time because there was a ceasefire between the U.S. and the Taliban that did hold for a period. But point here being, was this even true? No, it wasn't true. Headlines walking back the Russia bounty story in April of 2021. You know, after the election, after Biden's victory. NBC News here. Remember those Russia bounty stories? Biden admits the CIA intel is not conclusive. BBC, U.S. spies doubt reports of Russian bounties. Military Times, there may not have been Russian bounties on U.S. troops in Afghanistan after all. Yeah, that's right, friends. They got this one totally wrong. Okay, but there's so many that got stunningly wrong. And remember, it always goes against Trump, right? That's always a part of this, too. If there's a way to attack the right or Trump, that's the direction the story goes in, no matter how false. Then there was the lab leak theory. Remember that one? Oh, it couldn't be a lab leak. It had to be something else. It couldn't be that China tried to cover this up and that it came from a project that was at least through a carve-out, a third party, partially funded by Dr. Anthony Fauci's NIAID. That's not possible, right? Well, that's what they said initially, 2020. Here you go. Watch this one.
This question about the Wuhan lab, we know that it's been debunked.
Those same agencies now have been tapped with investigating one of Trump world's most favorite conspiracy theories.
This week, Donald Trump is still pushing the debunked bunkum, despite his own intelligence community's findings that is simply not true.
And there is simply no reason to believe that is the case. There is no empirical evidence to verify that.
We don't need to invoke conspiracy theories.
This is just another example of the president trying to change the narrative from his own failing.
Ah, see? Because if it was China's fault, then it's not Trump's fault in 2020 in the election year. This virus was spreading everywhere. So it was about a blame shift. And it was a conspiracy theory. The lab leak theory was crazy. Totally nuts. The media was sure about it, right? Crazy people saying it only. Now let's go to 2021. After the election, of course, here is fascist Fauci on the lab leak theory.
People forget that. But if you go back then, even though you lean towards feeling that this is more likely a natural occurrence, we always felt that you've got to keep an open mind. All of us. We didn't get up and start announcing it, but we've always said keep an open mind and continue to look. So I think it's a bit of a distortion to say that we deliberately suppress that.
Oh, yeah, sure it is. Open mind now. Open mind. By the way, now a preponderance of the evidence and the experts all say it probably was a lab leak, but you won't see that coming out of Fauci's mouth. It's the worst. Then there was the Covington Nick Sandmann situation. Remember Covington Catholic High School? And you had all these people in the media who were trashing Nixon. This is a young kid. He's on a high school trip to D.C. And they say that he's, well, look at this, what they said.
Some students harassing an older Native American man, a Vietnam vet.
The situation came to a head when that young man there, wearing a Make America Great Again hat, got right in his face and didn't move.
The video appears to show dozens of youths wearing Make America Great Again hats, mocking Native American elder and Vietnam veteran Nathan Phillips.
Yesterday, a Native American man was confronted by young people with Make America Great hats on. There's something wrong with that.
Outrage over this now viral video showing high school teenagers harassing a Native American elder.
When you have the kind of anger that we saw at the Indigenous Peoples March, where a veteran, a Native American man, was, had a standoff with students who were, mocking him.
Yeah, all a lie again.